Hey guys, 8-Bit Squid here and welcome to another Unity PlayMaker tutorial. In this tutorial, we're going to get a 3D character and its animations working using PlayMaker. So I've got this, at the moment it's quite a boring looking 3D model. Just, nothing special at the moment, it's got no skin. So I'm using this. This is, if you want to use the assets I'm using for this, they're by Kenney from the website KENNEY.NL. And they've got loads of free 2D assets, 3D assets, sounds, and UI items on there you can use. So we've got this character here, and I've just imported this one. At the moment on it, I've just got my movement FSM, which is just a basic one here, getting the horizontal and vertical axis, storing the vertical in a Z, called player Z, one the horizontal in player X, and it's calling them here for X and Z to move forward, backwards, left, and right. I've got my rigid body and I've got a collider on it. So first of all, what I'm going to do is to make it look a bit more interesting, I'm going to add a skin. So in the pack, if you download it from the website, it will be linked in the comment, top pinned comment, and in the description. You've got different skins here, and if it doesn't have one, you can create a folder or just anything, but like I'll show you here. I'll create a material and just call it skin. And in the base map here, we can add anything from here. So I'm going to add the cyborg female skin here, and then I can just drag that onto there. And as you can see now, the skin is on our character. Next, we want to actually make sure our character is set up correctly. So, actually, I maybe shouldn't have done that. Let's see how it works. So we'll go to model. Yeah, okay. So if mine's currently unpacked, but before you do that, you want to make sure that in the rig, the animation type is set to humanoid. Okay, and just want that. Okay, so we've got the character here. Okay, and then we'll go to our animations. So you just want these three: idle, jump, and run. For this one, we're just going to use idle and run. And we're going to make sure that on here, we set to humanoid. And we'll apply that. And same with idle. Okay, check our animations. We want to loop idle, and we also want our run to be idle. Now, in here, if you've got anything other than just root run or root idle, I don't know if it'll show up on here. Nope. Okay. But if you've got anything other, delete those. You just need root idle and root run. And if we hit the play button here, you'll see what it looks like. There's the run and our idle. Hit play. Just a kind of idle motion there. Okay, so they're now set up. What we want next is our animator here. So to get this, if you don't have it, let me just close it to show you. We'll go to Window, Animation, Animator. And we're going to click on our character here. Now, first of all, what we want to do is we're going to right click, create, and we're going to create animator controller. And let's call it our character. And we want to make sure that this is on our character medium. And avatar, we're going to choose character medium avatar for there. And add that there. Now, if you've already got one on the prefab, that's fine. Just as long as you got it, that's fine. I think it should come with one. I got rid of it just to show in case it didn't have one. Okay, so in our animator, we're going to create a new state. And we're going to call this one idle. And where it says root motion, we're just going to double click to add idle. Okay, and that means it's going to go from there to there instantly. And on here, we don't need to do anything here. We're going to create another state here, and we're going to call this state run. And on this one, we're going to choose run. So that is basically done. All we need now is to transition between these two states. So we're going to right click, choose make transition, join up here, then right click here, make transition, and put that to idle. Now, if we click on one of these arrows here, it's going to say condition. So we need to tell it when we want to make this transition. So what we're going to do is go to parameter, and we're going to add a float. Let's call this float speed. And just leave it as 0. Now, if we go back to here, we can add a condition. Speed is greater than 0.1. And then second one here, run, we're going to add again, but change it to less than 0.1. And we'll go to idle. So if we hit play now, let's see if anything happens to our character. Oh, disappeared. Is that my... Let me check my plane here. I think maybe not the best collider. Let me get rid of this collider. Or is it my rigid body? Okay. So remove that. Let me add just a capsule collider. Okay, let's see. And for some reason, it just keeps dropping through the ground. Plane. Maybe because of the mesh collider here. Okay, let me just put a box collider onto this. Okay. So we can probably see it here a bit better. Okay, so obviously I need to fix that collider, but you can see our character is now no longer T-posing, and you can see that it's doing the idle animation. So let me first just fix my capsule collider. Okay, that should be fine. All right, so we hit play. Hopefully no longer floating. There we go. And it'll move. But you see, obviously, not actually doing anything besides our idle animation. And that's because we haven't given any command to change our animation float. So, what we can do is go to PlayMaker. And we're going to add a new FSM. And we'll call it animation or animator. Or animate, it's up to you. Okay. So we're gonna want to get some input here. So because I'm using a keyboard, we're gonna be using like certain keys. Now, how I do it, you can mess around with it. This is maybe not the best way, but it's just going to show you what to do. So I want to do a get key down. I'm going to add 4 get key downs. Okay, and I want to have 4 states. And in these states, I want get key up. I'm just going to name these. So it depends on your input method to how you do this, but you're just going to see what we need to do it, and you should be fine. If you've got anything, questions about how to do it in your own situation, you can leave a comment in the comment section, and I can try to help you. Okay, I'm just going to create the states up, down, left, right. I'm going to add this to my idle state. Here. So, going to add them. Up, down, left, right. And link them up. On up as well, you're going to want like just a finished is fine. Okay. So now let's set this all up. So on up, I want to get my up arrow key. And that's going to go up. Down will be down arrow key. That's going to go down. Left arrow key. Left. And then right arrow key to be right. Now, if you want to use the ASWD keys, you can add that as well if you're following along. And obviously, if you're using like a controller, it'll be different. But as long as you add the states, I'll tell you the important states you need to add when we get to that in a moment. Okay, get key up. This is going to be right arrow. And that's going to go to finished. Down. Finished. Left. Go to finished. And then up. I'll get up. And that's going to go finished. Okay, so next we want to set rotation. And we're going to do this on each of these. And make sure that they are all first. Okay, so let's start with up. On the up, we want to set the rotation to be 0. And then on down, the Y here is going to be 180. On right, if we have a look here, we're looking right, we're probably going to want it to be 90, as you see there. And then for the left, it's going to be minus 90. Or you could do with the angles, how you'd be. So what? 180, 18, and 9. 280. if you want it to go left, it's up to you. So on my right, it's going to be 90. Down 180. Left, like I say, it's up to you. We can say 280. Okay. So if we test that is working, we'll hit play. Go right. Of course. So how it's doing it, there's one thing I actually want to change. What is wrong here? Right, left, down, up. Okay, I'm actually not sure why it's giving me an error here. But it's not... Oh, okay, that's why, okay. All right, so with movement, we can actually get rid of these here. And if we actually get rid of this completely, we could do a set velocity. And because if we have a look at our character here, we're always going to be using the Z. So global Z. And what we can do is just go to our variables. And player Z, I can set that to say 5. Now, what we want to do on idle is add set velocity. Again, on the Z, have it as 0. I'll put that to every frame. So hit play. Oh, wrong. It's not working because of that. And, oh, sorry. You want to make sure that it is on here every frame. Let's pop this onto here. All right, let's see if that is now going to work. Okay, and if we move again, you see, there we go. Weird how his rotation is gone a bit weird there. Okay, set to try minus 90. Okay, left, right, up and down. So he's moving now. Okay, so now he's moving. So now what we want though is to actually get him animated. So to do this, we're going to add the action browser and we're going to set animator. And we want to look for set animator float. And we're going to game up use owner and we're going to click here and it's going to show us speed. We can choose speed and set that to 1 and say that is every frame. In fact, yeah, no, we don't need it every frame. We've set it to 1. Okay, so we're going to paste this into all of here. And on idle, we're going to set it here, but we're going to set it to be 0. And let's say we might want it to be every frame. Let's just see how it works. So let's go to our character. Now, I expect something to happen here where he will stay idle, move forward idle at the beginning. So I'll hit play. Okay, so I expect, and there we go. You see how it just goes a bit weird. It takes a second for him to stop. I press down. He kind of slides up, slides, stops like that. Okay, so you see the little slider thing? That's very easy to fix. And I did this on purpose just to show you the importance of something we didn't do in the animator. So we go to our animator here. And we click on one of our transitions where it says has exit time. This is the issue. So if we head to 0, and then we turn these off, and the same for this one, 0, 0. So now we have no exit time on both. We actually go back to our scene, we hit play. Press forward, runs, instantly stops, runs, stops, runs. There we go. So there we go. We now have our character now animated when we use the keyboard. Now, if you want to use like the joystick, like a game controller or whatnot, the main thing is that when you get the inputs for like up, down, left, right, you want to use the set animator float and a value of 1. And then when it goes to the idle state or whatever, you want to make sure that we set that animator float to 0. So the animator flow is the most important one here. So however you set up your movement, yeah, for how you go left and right. Like I say, this is not the best way to move. It's just a very simple one I did here to show you how to get the animator working. You just want to remember you want the set animator float, set the value to 0 to be idle, and then anything over 0.1 to make it run. I just do 1 because it's a whole number. But there, then that is it. You'll get your character animated and moving just like that. So, if you have any questions, leave a comment below. And thank you very much for watching. Please hit like and subscribe so you can get notified when I upload new tutorials. And until next time, 8-Bit Squid out.